You know, I realized one thing. Men are getting weaker and weaker and weaker as time go by. You got men out there that can't even handle working 10 hours, 8 hours a day. I mean, they don't even want to get up and go to work. Now, I'm not speaking for all men, but y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, complaining, crying, complaining. Every job they get, they're quitting it, but they want to be successful. They want something for nothing. Sitting back looking at people that are successful talking about, I want to be the next rap star or the next high profile musician. I want to be the person that is a millionaire or a billionaire. But you have no swag, no hustle, and no type of drive in yourself to get out there and get it. But you want the world to pour down on you. Matter of fact, you want God to rain down blessings on you and give you things that you don't even deserve. You want something for nothing. I remember this one guy got a job where I work at. He was a tall guy, maybe about 6'3". He was a tall guy. Looks like a very strong, guy that can get out there and work. At least that's what it seemed like anyway. So I went to pick the guy up, and when I say I went to go pick the guy up, I was inside of the 18-wheeler going to pick the guy up at another location. Now, I do not drive over the road, but I still picked this guy up at another location because I was training somebody out of another state. I'm in Texas. He was in Louisiana, hour away. But I picked the guy up, and he was like, man, I'm ready for this job, man. I'm so happy that I got a job, man. I'm good. I'm gravy. I'm groovy, man. I'm ready to get out here and make some money. Yay! I mean, he was fired up like somebody on a football team ready to whoop the next team. If y'all understand what I'm saying. I know I kind of said that kind of off a little bit, but y'all get it. So he's all pumped up and ready to, go to work because what I do is very physical. I work in food service. And what we do is we drive a truck also, but we take food out of the trailer and take the food inside of many different restaurants, mom and pop restaurants, worldwide restaurants. I'm not going to name these restaurants at all, but I deliver to these restaurants. So the job is very physical. So we are running up and down a ramp all day long. It's physical. Exercise. When it's hot, you're sweating. When it's cold, you're sweating. And you are also cold at the same time. So it's a very physical job. And the man looked over at me and said, man, are you going to stop by somewhere and get something to eat? Because, man, I'm hungry, man. Ooh, how in the world are you working so hard without stopping and eating? So I explained to the guy and told him, man, if I was to eat a big meal, I would get sluggish. I would slow down, and I would not even be able to finish the job on time. So I explained to him exactly what I meant by that. So time went by. At the end of the day, once we finished unloading the trailer, the small trailers, not the real big old long trailers, but it was a small trailer that's called a pup. For those of you out there in the trucking industry, know exactly what a pup trailer is. It's the short trailer that hooks up to doubles and triples. So we unload the trailer, took everything inside of these restaurants and etc. and finished our day off. And he said, man, this job is tough, man. Woo! But I'm gonna hang in there. The next day I came to pick this guy up. I could feel the energy from this guy. He was not all hyped up. He was not ready to work. He was asking, what time are we gonna be done with this trailer? I'm like, man, we're gonna be done whenever we are done unloading this trailer. The faster you move and the faster I move, the faster we will get done with this shift or this job. So I began to see the guy moving kind of slow. He was complaining, saying, "Ooh, wait, man, stop by over here so I can get something to eat." Now, this guy was not a big old overweight guy. He was a tall guy, maybe 6'3", in good shape. So I noticed that he was declining. So I was taking something on the inside of a restaurant. Now I was loading the dolly up because we take dollies inside of these restaurants. You load up all of your freight on a dolly and roll it on the inside of the restaurant. We did not back up to a dolly, not a dolly, but to a dock and unload the trailer like that. We had to manually take everything inside of the restaurant one by one. 5 stops, 10 stops, 15 stops, however many stops you may have on your route. You have to finish that route and take all of those items inside of each restaurant. Now, like I just said, I took all of my items inside of the restaurant. And I came back outside and I looked around. I'm like, hey, where you at, bro? Where are you, man? I'm looking around because I'm concerned about what's going on. Is the guy okay? Has he fell out somewhere? Or what's going on? Because he rode here with me to these locations to unload this truck. We got a job to finish. So I began looking around and I said, where are you, man? So I began to call the man's phone because I had his phone number. He did not answer. So I began to get worried at that moment, trying to figure out, is everything okay? Has the guy, fell out, or has he had some type of panic attack or something like that? What's wrong with him? I'm wondering about this guy. So I called the supervisor and told the supervisor that the guy is nowhere to be located. Where is he? Have you heard anything from him? He said, no, I haven't heard anything from him. I mean, what happened? Is everything okay? You told me yesterday that everything is okay, because when somebody ride with me, I will still tell the supervisor that the person is doing quite well. But that was kind of not the truth. But I was trying to show grace on the person that was riding with me, so they don't have to be, dealing with all type of stress at the job. So I finished the ride out because I'm used to finishing these routes by myself. I finished the ride out and the supervisor called me the next day and told me that the guy quit. And I was saying to myself, man, guys these days don't want to do nothing. Now, you don't have to go out there and work on a truck like I do. You don't have to do anything like that. The sky is the limit for any man out there. But you got people that are working in Walmart with disabilities, working shifts all day long, and also drawing a check, providing for themselves. And you got men out here that will cry and boo-hoo all day long, talking about they want a woman that can take care of them. They don't want to take care of nobody. They don't want to take care of their children. They don't even want to take care of themselves. All day long, just crying and complaining, not even being productive citizens of society. What happened to the men? When I look back on the grandfather age, grown men used to go to work at these factories for hours, at the steel mill, at the plant, like the chicken plant, the plant that process wood and stuff like that. Strong jobs, real hard working jobs, out there in the fields all day long, plowing the fields and stuff like that, taking care of the cattle, taking care of the crop, grown men jobs. But women fought for their rights. Y'all remember that picture when a woman would say, fight for a woman's rights? I don't know what the picture was, but women used to fight for their rights to get out there and work the same jobs that men are working. So women fought for those positions, and women got out here and bust tail. You got women out here that are working harder than not complaining. They're not quick to quit their jobs. They're not quick to get on social media and cry about their jobs. They're happy about their jobs. They're going to work all day long at these steel mills and these factories and stuff like that, producing and being productive citizens of society, while they got a man sitting at the house talking about he is stressing because he has PTSD or whatever. Now, I'm not knocking down anybody with PTSD problems. That's not what I'm doing. But some of these guys are straight up wimps, trash, and they are just lazy. They don't want to even put anything in to society and get anything back out of society. And that is a shame. What happened to the man? You got men out here walking around with their pants sagging. You got men out here looking just like women, walking around, they dreads all twisted up and colored out and fingernails painted and, got their boots on, almost looking like high heels. So feminine dudes, man. You can't say nothing to them. They're ready to blow up, and you blow the horn at them. They get out the car with their weapon and ready to shoot and gun everybody down just because somebody blew the horn at them. And they're sitting at the light while it's green, at the stop sign, waiting on the stop sign to turn green because somebody blowing the horn, alerting them, letting them know, hey, the light is green. They'll get out the car and gun you down for something stupid like that. That's the type of man that we are dealing with today. Now you got women out there that are getting in serious relationship with each other because these guys are trash. They don't want to work. They don't want to take care of the children. They don't want to go out there and get good credit and produce something. They don't want to do anything. They want to sit back and wait on somebody else to do something for them. We're in trouble when it comes down to the man, you all. Black man, white man, Asian man don't want to put in no work in society. And I'm going to say this here before I close. I remember I had a conversation with a guy about jobs, about working. And he said anybody out there that goes to a 9-to-5 is a slave. And I'm like, how in the world is, how is it that someone's a slave because they go to a 9-to-5 every day? Everybody is not business minded. Everybody is not a people's person. Everybody cannot handle business. Everybody can't save money because when you got a business, you have to know how to save money, and you have to know how to deal with your ups and your downs. You cannot take every dime that you have and go out there and splurge and buy Rolls Royces and big houses, and you cannot even manage your money. Everybody is not boss material. But anyway, he said a person that will go to a 9-to-5 job is a slave. And I'm like, how is that? Explain it to me. He said, because you got to get up every morning, go work for somebody else. You got to go out there and hurt your bones and listen to what the boss tell you and etc. Making somebody else rich. The white man, making the white man rich. I'm like, what about the black man that's working for the black man? What about him? He's still a slave too. So I'm like, man, I can't get nothing through to this dude because he don't understand where a worker is coming from, a person that goes to a 9-to-5. Now, when I say a 9-to-5, everybody don't go to work at 9 o'clock in the morning and get off at 5 o'clock in the evening. I hope you're not listening to me and saying, man, 9 to 5, everybody's going to work at 9 o'clock in the morning and getting off at 5 o'clock in the evening. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm just giving a figure of speech when it comes down to that. A perfect example on a person that goes to work, the American citizen, and everywhere else around the world. So I'm listening to this guy talk. He began to explain to me why a person is a slave because they are going to a 9-to-5. And I began to explain it to him. I said, man, think about this here. You said everybody needs to be a business-minded person. Everybody needs to have their own. So I said that to him. I said, right? He said, yeah. Think about this. I said, every business has to have a worker, somebody to supervise their business, and also the CEO. If everybody was a boss at their business, don't you know how much chaos will be at their business? There'll be so many people bumping heads all day long, and guess what? The business is going to go down. And he began to listen to me and say, you're right, man. Everybody cannot be a business owner. I understand exactly what you are talking about. And I also told him, I said, man, when you go to McDonald's, somebody got to fix your burger. When you go to the tire shop, somebody got to put the tires on your car or your vehicle of choice. When you go to the airport, somebody got to fly that plane. Somebody got to mop those floors. Somebody got to teach those children. Somebody got to be the construction worker. Somebody has to be out there in this world to keep the world turning. The American worker that goes to a 9 to 5 is the person that is making this world turn. Not the man that is... Not the man that is going out there and catching a football or slam dunking a basketball. Not that person. That's not the person that is contributing to society the right way, keeping the world turning. Somebody had to cook those people's steaks. Somebody had to pump up the ball to put some air in it. Y'all know what I'm saying. Somebody had to do something that was not a superstar to make that superstar be a superstar. Somebody had to buy the ticket. Somebody had to go to work to pay some type of attention to those people out there that are stars and also CEOs and stuff like that. Without the worker, the world cannot even turn, is what I'm saying. Celebrities would not be celebrities without the 9 to 5ers. If the 9 to 5ers would say, you know what, I'm not going to go to work today at all, this world will stop. If the truck drivers would say, you know what, I'm not going to go to work at all, this world will go straight to the hell, to hell in a handbasket. It will shut down. A recession would not be anything. A recession would not have anything to do. Matter of fact, a recession cannot even amount up to anything like that. So when you think in your mind that someone is a slave for going to a 9 to 5, you are a fool. Because guess what? That 9 to 5er had to build that house you're staying in, drive that car that you are driving in, and also make that food that you are eating, and also make that cell phone or that camera that you are on the internet talking trash about people all day long on. A 9 to 5er had to go and build that. It had to go to work in order for you to even be able to do what you are doing on a day-to-day basis. Think about that, you all. I hope this topic or this video were able to help you out in some type of way. If so, give me a like and leave a comment. What do you think about that? Until I see you all on another video, holla at you.